welcome again to Charlene's Wellness Bites. We're here today with speaker and therapist Lou Lebentz, who I met when I saw her speaking a few years ago, and she completely wowed me with her knowledge and experience and passion for helping people. So I wanted to interview you, Lou, for everyone out there in my community online who may be struggling with an exercise addiction. So if we can talk a little bit through maybe helping people find out why they're doing that, and maybe their causes, and then some strategies to help them start to get over that or through it, that would be great.
Okay.
So Lou, what do you want to say about exercise addiction?
Well, I kind of want to say, like any addiction really, that we do it to help our mood and help change our state. And sometimes we do it because we want to dampen down feelings. So I remember in the, decade that I was at the Priory, often on the addiction treatment unit, and actually at the Priory we didn't have an exercise addict, but I did see somebody addicted to exercise at the Bristol Priory. And I remember it being one of the worst detoxes that I'd ever seen, twitching and stuff. And I think really addiction in any form is to try and subdue feelings, or to almost cut us off from our feelings. And also we get addicted. I mean, we all know about the runner's high. So we get addicted to the endorphins and the kind of neurochemical release alongside. And I think with this day and age, and you and I often used to talk about body image and the kind of Instagram culture and the six packs and the abs. I think it's so prevalent, isn't it, that we are what we look like. And everybody has become, not everybody, but a lot of people have become very obsessed by their external image. And I think it's an attempt to control that, to make us feel better about ourselves, but also it's an attempt to control. And it's a control mechanism that we use often because we want to stay in our heads and we don't want to be in our bodies. So at the Priory, often we would have to stop people doing exercise when they were on the addiction unit, because it's a very good way not to feel.
That's really interesting, because I talk a lot about that idea of getting out of your head and into your body.
Yes.
But what you're saying is that they're trying to dampen down the feelings. Very interesting.
And almost cut off from them, because I think running and exercise in a way keeps us quite heady. What we're wanting to do really in therapy and with clients often is to get them into their bodies, but actually to slow them down. And to slow down their breathing. So they're almost kind of slow twitch exercises. So when you do that, and you do it in therapy, you start to open somebody up to what's actually going on in their body, and that's their feelings. And that's what we as human beings so often try and avoid.
Yeah. And what's come to mind as you're talking is, can we help people identify if they actually have an exercise addiction? So what would be the signs and symptoms for someone who's addicted, as far as you know, as an expert therapist in addictions generally?
Okay. Well, I think it's about looking at the days that you have off, the days that you're training, how you feel when you don't train, whether you start to crave the gym, whether there's a perfectionistic trait to you, and that you start to feel guilty or shameful on the days that you can't exercise. And to me, all of that signifies that there's something going on with exercise that's more than about health and general well-being. It's kind of used as a prop to either boost our self-esteem or boost our neurochemistry all the time, to kind of take us out of our bodies and make us feel a bit high.
Great. Okay. So those are really good points to help people make an identification of that.
Yeah.
So moving forward from that and giving us sort of a structure of things for people, how if someone thinks that they are addicted to exercise,
Yes.
what strategies can they bring into their life to help them break that pattern?
Okay, so I would think about slowing everything down.
Mm,
So if we think about exercise addiction, people aren't usually addicted to slow twitch exercises. They're addicted to something that's very hyper, very fast, usually running. And also it's normally got to have the calorific burn.
yeah. Yeah.
Or it's got to sculpt and shape them in some way. So I would say you've got to get over that external, I'm doing this to change the way that I feel or look, and think about exercise much more as, what's it doing to my lungs? What's it doing to my heart? What's it doing to my bone density?
Yes. Yeah. And to my mind, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
totally. Rather than all the externals first off. And then I start to slow people down.
Mm.
So what can they intersperse their cardio or their strength training or resistance training? What can they slow it down to? Can they do mindfulness walking meditation?
Mm-hmm.
Can they do Tai Chi? Can they do yoga? Can they do something that slows them right down? Because I'm trying to get them to stop being a spinning top.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
don't know whether you know what a spinning top is.
Yes,
Did you?
I do. Yeah, I do.
Like those endless, and you keep pushing and you keep pushing. And
Yes.
I think that's an avoidance tactic.
Yes.
And actually what we want to do is slow somebody's left hemisphere right down so they come into the body, and then stuff starts to come up.
Yes. So that's interesting, because as an exercise specialist, what I would say to people that I've worked with a lot of people, especially women, who they're constant doers.
Yes.
So it's just what you're talking about. And getting them to work on their parasympathetic, this is exactly what you're saying, parasympathetic nervous system, which is the side of the nervous system that helps us calm and
Yes.
slow down and balance and relax.
Yes.
The big thing that they need to hear is that those things are still effective to help them stay fit, stay healthy, stay looking good.
But they're essential, because
Yes.
somebody's always in the sympathetic.
Yes.
They're always stressed. They're building their anxiety. It's not helping their mental health. So we're wanting people to switch over all the time as much as possible.
Yeah.
So, you know, the mindfulness, the meditation, the being able to sit with self,
Yes.
you know.
Which is
Yeah.
challenging for a lot of us, you
I
know.
know.
Yeah.
I know. Well, I talked to somebody last week about doing a silent meditation retreat, and the look of horror was, oh my God, what, you don't talk to somebody for 7 days? You've got to be joking. But in a way, what is that about? You know, why can't we slow down and go inwards? And of course, addiction in any format, whether it's drug, alcohol, sex, exercise, is about doing the opposite.
Yes.
It's not about slowing down. It's about running.
Yeah.
And we all know we can only run away from ourselves for so long.
Exactly. And it brings to mind an old client of mine, a woman in her 40s, who she had a high-powered job, and she was a doer, and she never stopped. She was definitely the spinning top.
Yeah.
And she exercised way too much. And even though she hired me as an expert for many years, and we had a great relationship, but she wasn't ready to hear the fact that she needed to pull back and slow down.
Yeah.
So my point with bringing up her story is that she exercised religiously and had to exercise every single day, high intensity, long sessions, and she really needed rest days, and she wouldn't take them. And she didn't recognize that she needed those and how beneficial they'd be until she changed jobs, moved out of London, and decreased her overall life stress. And then she could see those things. And I know that she did, because she told me.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that's been a big learning for me over the years as a personal trainer and working with people that could be, addicted to exercise,
Yeah.
is that if they're doing it day after day and it's not a solid, balanced, intelligent plan,
Yes.
they're probably addicted to exercise
Yeah.
in the ways we've talked about and for the reasons we've talked about. So that would be one of my big strategies to add to our conversation, is all about the planning.
Yes.
How do they plan it? They can still exercise a lot, but it has
Yeah.
to be intelligent and structured.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally agree with that.
Yeah. So why don't we leave it there? Because we've given a lot of great information for people to think about their whys and causes, and a few strategies to help them break out of those patterns.
Okay.
But if they want more information, they can get in touch. You guys out there, you can get in touch with me, or you can get in touch with Lou. Lou is on Twitter at Lou Lebentz, and she also has a website, which is loulebentz.com. And I will be putting her information on the end panel of this video, so you can find all that info there. And I'm sure Lou would be willing to help you and or see you if as a client.
Yes.
In London, or I think you do Skype calls now, don't you?
I do Skype,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so there's all sorts of ways they can find you.
Yeah.
And I just like to say thanks to you, Lou, for being here and helping us with this really important, very kind of emotional topic for people.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, and thank you for asking me.
Of course, of course. And thanks to all of you out there. Thanks for joining us again for Charlene's Wellness Bites, and we'll see you again very soon.